1982, Martin Scorsese made The King of Comedy. Robert De Niro plays a character named Rupert Pumpkin. This is a shot of New York Times. It's really good. You should watch it. It's a great movie. Robert De Niro's best performance. I'm going to use Robert De Niro in a movie called Vlogger versus Vlogger with Jordan Lee, also known as Jordan the Lion, as soon as I get the funding. All right, we're still looking at The King of Comedy, 1982. And that's Robert De Niro talking to like a mock audience, playing a character named Rupert Pumpkin. Brilliant performance, one of his best by far. Run out immediately, get a copy of this movie. You can see it right now for free on YouTube. It is absolutely brilliant. It's a marvelous movie. I always say it's Martin Scorsese at his most Fellini. Okay, Scorsese would probably understand. He is very Fellini right here. De Niro, brilliant. It's his best performance, other than maybe Cape Fear and Taxi Driver and a few others. But he is very good, very good.
So Linda's making a tomato soup.
All right, we're back to analyzing King of Comedy. That's Robert De Niro at about 38, maybe 39 years old. Probably going into 39 years old. That's Jerry Lewis. All right. So King of Comedy was done in 1982. Robert De Niro was probably going on 38, maybe 37, 38 years old. Diana Abbott, same age, roughly the same age, probably 37, 36 or so. There is Jerry Lewis, who's in mid-50s, so 56 years old probably. Kim Chan right here. Kim Chan had been a Lethal Weapon, bunch of stuff. He's also a producer, Chinese. He died in Brooklyn. He's about 65 right here. Now, you've got this great little setup for King of Comedy. One thing Robert De Niro is just genius. So everything he does is genius. This is kind of his Peter Sellers performance, if you would say it. Now, it's not like Being There, but the energy of the film is similar to Being There. Robert De Niro's performance is very manic and all over the place. So it's almost the opposite of Peter Sellers in Being There, which I think this is an homage also to Hal Ashby's Being There because of the situation. Situational comedy, but it's also this character who is just completely absurd, zany, living in the basement, supposedly with his mother's place, talking on tape recorders and stuff, and pretending like he's in a late night, show like Johnny Carson's Late Night, that kind of thing. Who this guy name is Jerry, playing a character named, it's Jerry Lewis playing Jerry, who does have a late night show. Great. Diane Abbott's wonderful. The whole thing is magical. Kim Chan is great. Very Being There kind of aspect of Hal Ashby. But this is Martin Scorsese, believe it or not. A lot of people don't recognize that when they see King of Comedy. They don't even think that was a Martin Scorsese movie? Yes. King of Comedy was actually directed by the one and only Martin Scorsese. This is the same guy who directed like Goodfellas, Gangs of New York. He directed this little comedy, but it's actually kind of more of a drama. And it's amazing. It's complete genius. I compare it to something maybe Hal Ashby might do, but it's him at his it's Martin Scorsese like at his Fellini. And what I mean by that is you got to know about Fellini's work. And there's a lot of just the architecture. Fellini was very genius with architecture and design and blocking. Look at this blocking. This is like stage blocking you would see on Broadway. You got this guy here, this guy coming around the back, almost like a painting. This woman here, boom. This is very Fellini. Now, I'm not saying 8.5, but it's still kind of Fellini in aspect. Look at this painting right here. See what I mean? He's bringing in kind of the Roman Empire kind of world, even though it's done kind of in modern aspect. Satyricon kind of thing, almost. But with television and stand-up comedy. These are two great stand-up comedians, but he's not very famous. He's an amateur. This guy is like Johnny Carson, but like way... way better. He's like the king of comedy, But this guy's trying to be the king of comedy. Got to see it. We're rating it as PG on YouTube. Wonderful. It's free of charge. Watch it now, immediately. 1982. Love it. Martin Scorsese's best stuff, other than Taxi Driver. It's wonderful. Okay, I got to feed the cat. But one last statement about Robert De Niro. This movie... even along lines of kind of feeling a little bit like Taxi Driver at times, was making a comment about the fame of not only Robert De Niro, but Jerry Lewis. Now, Jerry Lewis, of course, is part of the Rat Pack. But nowadays, if you went up to someone and you said, have you heard of Robert De Niro? They'd say yes. 100% of the time. You go to the mall, you ever heard of Robert De Niro? They'd go, yeah. If you said Jerry Lewis, they might go, who? Because not everyone can name the Rat Pack. You know, Jerry Lewis was part of the Rat Pack. Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, Frank Sinatra. And I'm having trouble with the other one. You know what I mean? I'm even right now, but I have to sit there and think about it. But not everyone can name the Rat Pack. So it's also making a comment about fame. And De Niro was very famous at this moment, still moving up. So it was these two kings of fame. You know, he makes a lot of different points about fame, obsession, and the absence of family too. It seems like they're trying to fight to have some type of family. He's very alone in all the scenes. He's very alone. Not as much as Taxi Driver, though, because he still has Sarah Bernhardt's character and Abbott, Diane Abbott. But man, it's nice. It's a nice little piece. You got to see it. Wonderful. This is one of the shots. You know, Scorsese's genius, and that's what I mean by Fellini. Is, you know, Fellini would capture you. He'd arrest you with his cinematography. It's called a arresting visual, meaning you would be sucked into the film and forced to see it. He does this throughout the entire film. He does it in After Hours. He does it in Taxi Driver, Last Temptation, even some of The Departed, which I've always thought if any movie Scorsese should have won Best Picture, it'd probably either be for Taxi Driver or King of Comedy. But he won it for The Departed. But he deserved it here. He deserved it in Taxi Driver. He deserved it in a lot of his films. But you can just see here, this is a postcard. This is what it means by making your shot like a postcard. Look at this guy. Did he do that on purpose? Look at the telephone booth. This is just one little shot. Look at the costumes going all the way down. Are these extras or real? I want to know. These are probably extras. This is something he set up. Now, if they're real, then he got a lucky shot. But if this is all extra, beyond genius. Beyond genius, the whole film. Watch it immediately. If you're a film major and haven't watched it, you can't be a filmmaker until you watch this film. You got to watch the film first, and then you can be a filmmaker. If you're going to be a comedian, you got to watch King of Comedy first, then you can be a king. Then you can go and try to be a comedian or a king of comedians. Okay, got to see this first. Very funny. I just laughing my butt off in the scene where he goes in and barges in, trespasses into Jerry's house and tries to manipulate his way into Jerry's life. You know, it's obsession. It's almost going back to the old silent films too. You know, I'm not gonna say Charlie Chaplin as much as like maybe Buster Keaton, but it's getting into kind of the real kind of crazy comic, silent comedy kind of things too, even though it is a talkie, as they say.
You trying to muscle your way into my life? What's your problem, kitty? What's going on? There's Mummy. Be good.
All right, I'm showing you how well trained my cat is. Kitty, don't go in the bedroom. Don't go into the bathroom. Look at that. Beautiful. It took me almost a year. How long have we had Kitty?
7 months.
7 months of training. Look at that. That, my friend, is more obedient than a dog. Okay, Kitty. No, come on. Kitty. No, you're ruining the shot. Come on. All right, he's going for the window. Go for the window then. Ruin everything. Come on. All right, come on, Kitty. Seriously. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on, Kitty. All right, remember this right here.
Not clear. I gotta get the phone real quick.
Then get the phone. She's not as trained as the cat, but she's pretty dang well trained. That's very good, Kitty. You learned. You don't go in the bedroom. You don't go in the kitchen. This is your whole little area right here. You got the whale shark tunnel. Television will be turned off so you can meditate and think about the wonderful things in life. You got your scratching post right over here. Use the scratching post to sharpen your nails and all that kind of stuff. Did you get the door? Okay. Make sure to double check. 174,546 miles on the speedometer. 80 degrees Fahrenheit. We're dealing with April 15, 2023. The one, the only, my wife, Linda Spivey. I am Cole Spivey. Welcome to the Please Subscribe show. Linda's probably going to talk to you about a motto. It's called Torchy's, as in Torchy's Tacos. We're headed there right now. Linda's got a possible job, I guess you call it, what do you call it? Lead, opportunity, career. Now, what's going on with the motto of Torchy's?
I don't remember. I read it earlier. One moment. I'm trying. Please.
All right. We're going to switch over to so you can watch us drive.
It says God is something and the devil is something. So it's the complete opposite, but it doesn't sound as bad as it seems. When I read it earlier today.
Isn't there a pitchfork for the doorknob?
Yeah. They have really nice chandeliers.
It's like hell. The theme, but people eat there every day. They got the Democrat and the Republican tacos there.
They did get rid of the Republicans during COVID. And a lot of people thought it was
A
political.
lot of the Republicans. All right, we're switching over.
It's something.
They have a Republican. They have a Democrat. They also have.
Trashy taco.
They have a trailer trash. Make it trashy?
Yeah, because you add queso to it.
It's a trashy to taco. Something trailer trash taco. Something in that nature. They put like carrots on some of the tacos. What do they call that? It has a name. What's an elote called? E-L-O-T-E? It's a type of thing in the Latino making tacos. These are supposed to be like gourmet tacos. So they're a step up from your regular taco.
No freezer, no microwave, everything's made from scratch.
Everything's scratch. Everything's made right from scratch. Really nice. What does it mean when you get it trashy?
You minus the pico and you add the queso.
Minus the pico, you add the queso. That's trashy. It's real cheesy. That's what they call trashy. Minus the pico, add the queso. Linda's eating tomato soup.
With carrots.
With carrots. I'm still under the weather. I've got this thigh thing right here. I don't know how I woke up. My eye was, kind of itchy. It's gotten better, and then I have a sore throat. I've had a sore throat for like 2 days. You can tell by the way I talk if you don't know.
Ooh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Our mission at Torchy Tacos.
There's a mission at Torchy Tacos.
Be damn good.
Be damn good.
Our vision.
Vision.
Serve people the best damn tacos.
Serve people the best damn tacos.
Our why.
Our what?
Our why.
Our why?
Passion.
Our passion.
Our motto.
Motto.
Devil is in the details.
The devil is in the details. Go ahead.
Cut.
All right. We're going to cut.
There's a God in details too.
There's a what?
God in details.
There is a God in details, but not critter. We like Jesus. We're big fans of Jesus, as in Jesus Christ. All right, we're gonna cut.
I can't remember where I saw it. Can you please help me?
Yes.
I don't want to break it any worse.
Okay.
Get this towel off.
I see.
Please be careful, they're already fragile. Put that down and help me with 2 hands. Oh, already have it right open. I should have a little bit of tape for my glasses. I just gotta make sure I don't bend over and empty. Okay, let me move.
A little bit of lemon. So when you're writing a screenplay, you want to take note cards and you want to get 70 different ideas, 70 different things to put down on them. So you have 70 different note cards with different ideas. Example, let's look at King of Comedy. One idea: Rupert Pumpkin breaks in to Jerry Langford's house with girlfriend, black girlfriend. Jerry Langford tells his maids, his service people, to call the police on him so he can get him trespassed or get him kicked out. That's an idea. One idea. So Scorsese found a way to get that idea in that scene by either writing it in a screenplay, and then getting them to do it. Now, if they had him improv it, which he might have, I don't know. I have to go back and do the research. Then that's still an idea. Okay? The script was there. So, they still found a way to do it. That's one idea. Let's look at David Lynch. Okay, he's a great screenplay writer. Let's look at the masterpiece on my top 10, Blue Velvet. Idea: the protagonist finds an ear in, the front yard or the side yard with ants covered over it. That's an idea. And it brings about a lot of other stuff. Okay, it's still an idea. Now, whether, David Lynch wrote that down on a note card, maybe, but it's still an idea that he had to work with as a filmmaker. So you take 70 different ideas, and they all have subjects. Jerry Langford kicking Rupert Pumpkin out of his house is an idea. This guy finding a severed ear in the side yard in Blue Velvet, David Lynch, that's an idea. And it can develop all this stuff, right? Vlogger versus vlogger have got plenty of ideas. You know, Joe a vlogger sits down in a coffee shop with the travel vlogger to talk about his life. Later, the travel vlogger sees Joe a vlogger dressed up like a bellhop, pushing a food cart into a hotel room on the high floors. He's hiding. Travel vlogger's hiding by an elevator with his telescopic camera and sees Joe a vlogger pour a little bit of powder onto this grapefruit or soup or something. Okay, probably there's soup and a grapefruit. He walks out. Joe a vlogger walks out of the room, and all of a sudden this kind of heavy set guy sits down and starts eating some of the grapefruit and some of the soup and starts going and then falls over and dies. And guess who sees it? The one and only, the travel vlogger. Spots Joe a vlogger. He sees him and then videotapes it. He videotapes a murder, and then the rest of the whole movie is a cat and mouse game. So you have these ideas. Now I've got to get 70 note cards to go around that idea and get everything else, and I have it all there. Because I've vlogged it, I've talked about it, I put it on Facebook, I've studied hitmen and all this kind of stuff. Supposedly I was even around one of them. I lived in Crowley. This guy, he was a special intelligence. He said he was hired as a hitman, and I met him. He was drunk, but he was special intelligence. He also used to work for the military, and he would rappel down these buildings when he would he'd plant these bombs, these little bombs to blow up buildings. This is for like Afghan and stuff. And he would propel down, and then they would detonate these buildings that were dangerous to the soldiers. And then later on, some people hired him as a hitman. Don't know his name, but I met him. Really weird guy. Very eccentric. So Joe a vlogger is a very eccentric character, but he has a history. Okay? Now, Joe a vlogger is a very clean character. No drugs, no alcohol. You know, he likes drinking occasional spritzers at the, Starbucks. A little bit of coffee every once in a while. Watches his spending. But he's very technologically gifted. That's why he was hired as a hitman, Joe a vlogger. He can hack anything. He can hack anything. He can sit there and get on his computer and hack into phones and turn off Wi-Fi units and shut down hotels' Wi-Fis and things like that. He's great. He's a great hitman, Joe a vlogger. So he knows how to do it. And he's been doing it for his whole life. Probably has some military experience, too, that we don't know about. Maybe Navy. Maybe he was on a sub in the Navy, a submarine, special intelligence, that kind of thing. So he figured out how to stop other people and everything from getting him by hacking. So this is kind of a technological achievement in filmmaking, and the fact that we're dealing with the tech industry. And this guy's paid to hit off another IT guy. So the guy that's in the hotel room is probably an IT guy. I'm coming up with this, So we'll get it all down on note cards. Maybe this summer. Escape remains on hold. I'm waiting for the inspiration to come back. I never write without inspiration. I don't write like a dead robot. My body and my spirit, my mind will tell me when my fingers need to move and the story needs to come out onto the typewriter. I use a computer, but I think I started off with a word processor. But regardless, it gets inside me like the Spiritus Mundi, and it takes over, and then my hands start to write, and it's like something else is controlling me when I'm writing the dialogue. It's like something else. So Escape from Maine is ready for the first episode. So it's probably going to be a series. and then I got to continue it on. It's going to be a long one, 250 pages, maybe 300 pages, maybe 500 pages. It's going to be a long one. So it's going to be like a 6-hour movie or something. So I will take breaks from it because it hurts. It hurts to write. It hurts you. Maybe Joe a vlogger. I'm sorry, vlogger versus vlogger this summer. I'm going to go ahead probably and touch up Grace. I said by October. So we got the summer. We got June, July, August, September. Then we got October. I'm going to touch up Grace. And then October, I'm going to mail it to Grim Life Collective in whatever form it is. And it's going to be completely mailed. I'm going to put the 3 holds things in there and put the little pegs in there, just like you would do a script. I got to go. That's Linda. And then I'll tell you all about Grim Life.